Hey guys, welcome back to another one. My name's Braden and I'm an artist. So, how to easily draw ears. Drawing ears can be slightly complex if you don't know how to approach them the right way. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how we can leverage the Asaro method and identify the planes of each ear so that we can give ourselves a really nice foundational structure to base the rest of the drawing off of. So, what to expect. In this one, I'm going to take you through and I'm going to show you three different angles. The first angle being the profile angle. We're going to use a reference photo of the Asaro head model's ear, and I'm going to show you how you can use that to your advantage when it comes to laying out the basic structure of your ear. We're going to be doing that not only for the profile angle, but we're also going to do it for the straight on angle. And even though the straight on angle's ears are half covered, the principle remains the same. We're then going to be moving on to a 3/4 turn angle, and I'm going to be discussing the Asaro method as far as how it is different from one side of the Asaro head to the other. And this is just so that the method itself is as applicable as possible to whatever reference it is that you're drawing. So that's pretty much it. It's going to be short, it's going to be sweet. But before we dive into the video, make sure that you like, subscribe, and then turn on all of your notifications so that you never miss when my latest and greatest videos hit the channel here at Messer Creations. All right, let's get drawn. Okay, so to identify the Asaro planes for the ear, what we're going to do is we are going to focus heavily on the reference image here. What I've done is I've gone through and I have highlighted the essential planes of the Asaro head model so that we can identify those planes within the reference photo. Okay, so we're using that as the basis for exactly where we are going to mark these planes for the reference photo. Now, it's important to understand that when it comes to your drawing, I want you to sketch in these lines that have been highlighted in this video. Okay, now you will notice that the planes that are part of the reference photo, these have been identified. Now, it's important to understand that these planes are going to be drawn in with your drawing, okay? But what we're doing is we are making sure that even though the planes themselves principally are the same as the reference photo, we are ensuring that they apply nicely to the reference photo in question. Now, you may notice that what we are actually drawing is the outer edge of the subject's ear. Once we have the outer edge of the subject's ear drawn in, we can then go in and we can start to highlight the inside parts of the subject's ear. Now, when you see these lines here and you actually compare them to the Asaro ear, one of the things that you might notice is that they are not exactly the same, right? And this, of course, is the adaptability of the Asaro method in action. Okay, so now moving on to the straight on angle. One of the things that we want to do here is that even though we cannot see the ears
holistically, we can still make out pretty much half of them. And so what I've done is I have placed the Asaro head model's ears both for the right side and the left side, so that you can start to see and have a basis for exactly how you would want to start sketching these ears for this specific angle. So we pretty much have the left ear drawn in, and now we're going to focus on the right ear. One of the things that I wanted to show you with this specific angle is because, like I've mentioned before, the Asaro head model has different planes identified per side, and that is just so that the model itself is a lot more applicable to different types of faces than not. So you might notice that the way that we're sketching out the right ear is different from the way that we sketched out the left ear. Again, this is the versatility of the method being brought out through actual application. Now, moving on to the 3/4 turn. The 3/4 turn angle is one of those angles that you will probably actually draw more often than not. Profile angles really had their time during the High Renaissance in Europe, and now they are still very much a pillar of angles that you will encounter more often than not. But the 3/4 turn angle is probably one of the most dynamic and popular angles that people like to be drawn in. You might hear people say, oh, this is my good side, right? Whether that be right or left. Well, that in principle means that you only prefer really one side of the face that you want to have drawn. And so of course that would be a 3/4 turn, whether it be left or right? It depends on the subject and their preference. But that aside, what we are doing is we are identifying those planes. You might notice the majority of the planes that we've identified with this specific angle for the Asaro method are going to be the outer edge. Once the outer edge is sketched in, we want to draw in this plane here, which effectively splits the earlobe into a side plane and a top plane, that top plane extending off of the face itself. And then once we have that, we can then start to go in here and identify exactly how the ear folds on the inside of itself. You can go as crazy as you want to when it comes to these planes, but I have found through many years of drawing that if you just keep it simple, that is going to be more beneficial for you when it comes time to hatching and cross-hatching and blending and really bringing out the character of the subject's ear, regardless of angle, okay? So that's pretty much it. Stay happy, stay healthy, and remember, never stop drawing.